welcome to another Thursday evening here in Copenhagen. It's a special evening here in Denmark. We're celebrating it. It's just the longest day in Denmark, and now that's also why the sun is shining right now. And from tomorrow, we get to experience like it doesn't go that fast, but actually we are then approaching the second half of 2020, which is a closing. Where we're ending with Christmas. It's getting darker and darker, but right now there's celebration and festivities in all parts of the country. I'm here. I'm dedicated just to show up and want to talk about something about being an overachiever and the flipping that around. Welcome to my show. As always, Camilla Kalberg is my name. I'm the founder, CEO, and executive coach. And we help business people like you thrive wherever you are in your career. And by thriving, it's not about meaning working long hours, actually flipping everything around. It's your mindset. Today, I'm going to talk about why I stopped being an overachiever. And the way I tune into this conversation we have today is a question I got a few weeks back. The question was like this: how do I get to be a successful entrepreneur when I don't want to work that many hours? And that question got me to think. And I will ask you that question. If you want to be successful, how many hours do you put in each day? How many hours do you put in? And as you're pondering on that question, just let me welcome you all to another session on leadership mindset. And today we're going to talk about, or we will talk about, how I stopped being an overachiever. And I hope that may inspire you to also change your life. Welcome. I appreciate you. My love and appreciation flows to you. And just so grateful that we are once again connected, and I value your time. If you want to chip in, as always, send me a comment in the chat box or a private note, as some of you do. I really appreciate that. So, going from being an overachiever to a highly successful leader, entrepreneur. And the question I got that, how can you be so successful and not working long hours? And that question came from an old BP friend of mine. And in BP sometimes, and definitely where I was in other corporation, I worked long hours. And in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, I worked long hours. And when I say work long hours, I work more than 60 hours a week. I sometimes happen to I for several years I worked in London, flew out in the early morning and came home late. It was amazing. I really was a high flyer. I achieved a lot, but it was also we worked hard. I also got to be involved in many in powerful and empowering projects, but there was also some downsides, obviously, on this. And what I happened to experience when I was start to become or take more accountability was what I know now is that when you work so many hours, like plus 60 hours a week, you don't have time, or you're so much stuck into the operational thing. And when you're in operational thing and you have accountability, you don't have time and space to be visionary. You don't have time and space to work on the strategy. And that I just realized now, I didn't work on my strategy. I knew I did my plan, but the planning was in my head. The strategy as much comes from my heart and where I want to go, where I wanted to take my clients' projects, how I wanted to contribute even more. And that's, excuse me for that, but that happens that you cannot dive into strategy, being strategic, being strategic and visionary when you just too suck into the operational day-to-day work. And so the side effects were really that I didn't really work on the strategy. That was one of the learnings. And I must say, hands up here, I had some really bad morning and evening routines. I checked my emails. First thing I woke up, I checked emails. The last thing before I went to bed, I could be angry, not so much angry, but I could be frustrated on the emails that turned up. Like suddenly, that the emails were kind of dictating what was going to how I was going to go to work at night, go to sleep at night. That's crap, right? But like when you get an email that kind of aggressive, or you haven't done that. I've received things like that. Always done this. Like, oh, it's me. I didn't do it on purpose. So I just did my best. And those what I know now is that just leave that. It's like that is this is the the saying that is alive also, right? But it's like s- b- spend time and space for work. But I was so committed. I was this overachiever that I so much want to be on the alert, what's going on. I wanted to deliver. I want to overperform. I was so much focused on my plan, less on my team, and less on the team dynamics. So was I, focusing on the team dynamics, but I could have done even more had I not been so stuck in the operational thing. And what I could have done even more is actually to cultivate what I really enjoy now. That's why I'm a coach, certified coach, is I enjoy helping other people achieve their goals. You don't have time for that when you have to be operational. And I know leaders in different types of pharma companies, different type of IT companies, where it's very little time for managing your team. And here's the question to the companies. If that is how you set up your team members or your team managers, how on earth do they have time, or should they have time to cultivate and breed this new kind of generation and this new amazing staff, the employee force that actually are the muscle and the brain to generate more success? It's absolutely impossible. So I would say in some corporations or some companies, leaders are not being set up to success. And I started to think. And so when I reflected on how much I have worked, I'm proud of all the results I've done. But I also learned that there's so much more to life than working 60 or 80 hours a week. Yes, I've been flying first class. I had my chauffeur picking me up in Heathrow in London. And it was stark glamorous. I enjoyed it. I loved it. But I also came to the point of realization that I can make good money in a smarter way. And I can make good money and live a better life and still enjoy my life in a better way. And so what I started to do, actually, I started working with a coach, and I started to really tap into my passion of people. I started to, and I went back to my BP times where it was all about setting you up for success. I had a bunch of people around me who said, "Where do you want 5 years from now? Where do you want 10 years from now?" I was so used to that, and I started applying that. So people who came to me, I said, "What is your career plan? Where do you want to go?" And I started using that on myself again, and that's why I decided to become this successful entrepreneur. And that's why I learned that I saw a post early on, I think this week, last week, about work life balance. I also commenting on that because for me, or to me now, work life balance has a completely different meaning. It's life more than work. And you can make a good living. You can have a luxury living without having to work plus 6 hours, 60 hours a week or 50 hours a week. It is possible. And if you're going to join my training next Tuesday, I'm going to teach you exactly how I flipped my professional life around. It's all about your mindset. It's how you think, how you want to set yourself up for success. It's really, really powerful. And what I learned, and that's about the leadership mindset. I talked this earlier today about emotional intelligence. It's about being having the vision, having the right people on your team so you know who to give what to who, who is on your team, what is their strengths, and then delegate the task to those people. Because as long as you have the right people on your team, you have to trust that those are the right people. Then you can delegate, and then suddenly, as I say, 2 plus 2 equals 1,000. That is absolutely amazing. Then you're all in your zone of genius. And here's what I know to be true, and what I've seen a lot of my clients is that when you step into your higher self, the highly successful leader, you create the time and space for the people to show up. You create the trusted environment, and you help them grow. When you're a highly successful leader and you have left the overachieving professional, you focus on the people. You want them to be successful, right? Because when they are successful, you're successful. That's how it is. But I know, and I've seen in so many companies, that there's no time for strategy. There's very little time for team management. And with this team management, it's all about the KPI. It's not there's no time to dive into each and every individual growth journey. But here you always have a choice, and it sometimes seems that people are so stuck. It's like I had a conversation earlier today about, do you do you want to choose your destination, or do you wait to be chosen what destination you're going to get? And here you have an amazing, amazing opportunity in life. It's actually that you choose your destination. And I think I know quite a few of you out there, and including myself, we can always do that extra stretch, which is not even a stretch, but going out of our comfort zone. There's always room to think differently. And here's the secret source for success. And I will hone it in and say it again and again. It's your mindset. Everything comes and starts with your thoughts. Everything starts with your thoughts. And then it's about being conscious, working with someone who can be your accountability partner. Say, hey, what do you think right now? Does that support your success, or how does that support your dream? And then you realize, because being an overachiever is not really the best thing, I would say, on earth. Because why being an overachiever when you can be a highly successful leader, make more money, get the promotion that you want, and enjoy life at the same time? Are you with me? Are you with me? Because this is amazing. It's a concept. It's all about whether you are committed to go leave your comfort zone and grow something better. You have so many options out there. It's just you're tapping into your superpower. And the only thing is required is your commitment to tap into your superpower. And like, if you want to work with me, I hold your hand, I show you the way. I have the concepts, I've proven concept, I've used it myself, I've set people up for success, help getting people promoted on these concepts. That's why I know it's working. So, welcome once again. I'm just about tuning out now, actually. But my name is Camilla. We're talking about how I stopped and why I stopped being an overachiever, and how I stepped into really being a highly successful entrepreneur. And just a really short cap, it's about why work long hours when you can work less hours and be more successful, make more money, get the promotion that you want. It's all about the thoughts that you think. It's all about getting the right people on your team. It's all about really coming down again to the thoughts that you think and the vibration, the energy that you send out, that you broadcast. So, what the heck are you talking about, Camilla? I will teach you more because there's so much in the vibration, so much into in this in the energy. There was another. I got another question the other day. Say, okay, but when people go to bed, they're allowed to go to work. They might have a bad day, la la. And don't you think like that? And I say, I did it once, but I no longer judge. I no longer judge. I can just sense that this person is vibrating on a lower level of energy, which doesn't serve that person. But I'm no longer available for that energy. I know where I want to go, and that is again going into your thoughts. And so, like a lower level of energy is also tapped into being an overachiever. You work and you work and you work. You just focus on delivering the plan. You have no time for strategy. There's so much that was a Danish phrase, but there's so much pointing in the direction of why you want to become a highly successful leader. It's a better life. It's stress less and more money. Money is just energy, right? So you can live the luxury life you want, drive the nice car that you want, go on the vacation that you want. You, if you want to become an entrepreneur like myself, you can set your company up because you set up your time. You set the time to be when you want to work, when you want to do strategy, because suddenly you are the one who does the strategy. So if there's no time for you in the day-to-day work where you work right now and you want to create more impact, then it's time for you to change. If you want to know more about how I stopped being an overachiever and the concept, free step concept, you want to join my free training next Tuesday, remember to sign up. There's a link in at the end of this, or in the show notes, and also on my LinkedIn site. All right, thanks for now. And there's some questions here. How did I do it so fast? Oh, that was a great question. So, how I really decided to stop being an overachiever and got into this highly successful leadership, or the mindset of it, that I worked with a coach. I learned that I knew that I knew that I wanted to no longer work 60 hours, but I also knew that I wanted to keep my lifestyle and bump it up. So there must be another way to do it. There's so many successful people out there who work 25 hours or so and they make great money and they have a great lifestyle. I'm up for that. If you're up for that, you want to do it as well. You want to learn from the best. That's how it is. If you're comfortable where you are, then then definitely you should not be on maybe on my channel and follow my courses. But that's really what I did. I say, if other people can do it, I can do it too. It was so easy. Thanks very much for that question. All right. Enjoy this beautiful Thursday evening, and we'll be in touch again soon. Thank you so much for your time. I value you. I appreciate you, and my love and appreciation just flows to you each and every time. All right. Stay in touch. Bye for now.